Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back on the air here for LCW Catfight 2021 with more 3-on-3 tag team elimination Survivor Series style, where one team will remain on top and continue on moving forward to the LCW Championship Series. And fans, returning with me right now is Rick Rocker to the broadcast table. Rick, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, Johnny Baba Ganoush. Thank you very much for bringing me back here. Talking to some of the greatest wrestlers right now backstage in Ladies Championship Wrestling. I am telling you right now, Johnny, there is definitely legends to be made here. And I'll tell you why, Johnny. Because Erica Fisher, although she's only been here for about 4 to 5 months, she's proven time and time that she is indeed the best female performer LCW has ever seen. And since she has the LCW World Championship title, there is no doubt that she will have an outstanding match with the ring veteran known as Alicia. Alicia, at this point now, fans, she has been on the title scene throughout the 2020s. I mean, we're only mid-January, late January 2021, but throughout the year 2020, Alicia has been on the prowl as champion or going for that championship. Because if all of you guys and gals watching FPW Fantasy Pro Wrestling and following what's going on in the ladies division, Alicia won the world title last year at Catfight. So that only means that perhaps this year, this night, perhaps Alicia will walk away the LCW World Champion, Johnny. That's what I got to say about that.
Well, a astute observation by Rick Rocker, our senior correspondent here for Fantasy Pro Wrestling. I have to disagree with you because it's not that I'm just favoring Erica Fisher because she's brand spanking new and she's got a hell of a moveset. It's the fact that she knows what to do. She knows how to use her moveset, Rick. And the fact is, she became the LCW World Championship not by defeating Alicia, but by defeating Demi Hendrix, another superstar who's brand spanking new. You have to remember that, Rick. And Alicia just was unfortunate, because she was in the ring with 2 brand new superstars, complete mystery. And you have to understand that Alicia has never been in the ring with 2 brand new stars that had unorthodox styles. Because Alicia has always been wrestling any kind of superstar, watching every kind of superstar compete, and it's been pretty much the same superstars each and every single year. Mind you, when Alicia was pregnant and when she was on mat leave, she wasn't wrestling. She wasn't even training. She was preparing to become a mother. And hell, she's got 2 kids, Now, I'm not an expert, and I'm definitely not a mom, Rick. But let's be honest here. Would you think that your wife, You think that your wife, if she were a performer, you think that she would be training if she's pregnant? I don't think so, exactly. Rick was actually shaking his head no. But Rick, I'm telling you, your wife has 3 kids with you, right? You guys have 3 kids together? Jim, Johnny, and Gerald? I don't think Mindy was preparing herself to become I don't think that she was preparing to become a superstar of the year, you know, when she was on her trimester, on her third trimester. I don't think so. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back for some action here on Catfight 2021. Sorry, Rick, I wasn't trying to have an argument with you. It's just I have my own opinion, and I feel like my opinion is pretty damn strong. Well, Johnny, you made a very good, interesting point. I mean, Mélissa has been away from the ring for some time because she was pregnant, and she was pregnant twice, which means that she was away from in-ring competition for a long period of time. And the fact that she did become the women's champion or ladies champion last year was absolutely an astonishing achievement. But tonight, she's meeting up against a new star, and for the first time ever in this business, we're going to see Erica Fisher and Mélissa duking it out in singles competition in the main event, with special guest referee, mind you, being Christina Calloway. That is correct, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who have just tuned in to watch this video on YouTube, in our opening bout, which was technically now deemed a dark match, Christina Calloway and Janice Henderson, the two referees for LCW, two referees in general who are assigned to be referees, they had a match, an I Quit match, to decide who stays and who leaves. Well, Christina Calloway is the referee tonight, fans, which means that technically, the spoiler has been sent. Janice Henderson is not going to be with us. I don't know. I mean, I think Janice Henderson's best chance right now is to continue doing what she does best, and that is to teach. Being a first aid responder. Janice Henderson has only been here for about a year, and she had served as a referee. Mr. Winston. That cat is a gem. I know. I love him very much. And by the way, Johnny Mama Ganoush, I understand there is a third broadcast commentator in Julia Sanders. That is correct. She's here with us now, Rick, and a lot of things have changed, not only in the wrestling industry, but in the broadcasting industry. I used to be broadcasting it with Scott Towles and Captain Oblivious / Obvious, depending on who it is, and now because of COVID-19 and this curfew, the curfew was part of the pandemic. Things have changed, but Julia Sanders is now here with us in Fantasy Pro Wrestling, and she's going to be calling the action for our main event and other matches as well. So I'm very, very grateful and thankful that we have a female's perspective of things, and be on the lookout for Julia Sanders, everybody, including you, Rick. Well, thank you very much for informing me of that, and I enjoy commentating for NCWA. That's New Class Wrestling Academy, and we will be back on the air next week, I believe, and we're going to be having the continuation of the inaugural World Tag Team Tournament. We're going to have the league challenges, but tonight it's not about the NCWA. It's about the future of ladies championship wrestling. We're seeing it right here tonight, fans, in this 3-on-3 Survivor Series type match. That's what we're building it as, Johnny. It's a 3-on-3 Survivor Series type match. Yes, it is, Johnny. And also for those who are tuning in right now, watching this, the purpose of these 3-on-3 elimination matches is simple. Like last year, there were championship series for FPW, LCW, and No Mercy. The purpose of these championship series is the teams that advance on will definitely get a chance to compete for their respective brands' championship. But individually, each member, each superstar representing the team, have points to earn. Now, what do I mean by points? That means that every pinfall and every submission, you earn individual points. For pinfalls, you will earn 3 points. For submission, you will earn 5 points. Countouts and disqualification doesn't really earn you any points, but during the matches, your team will definitely earn some points, and that will allow you to advance on to the final round, giving each 3 superstars of the team a chance to earn some points at the last round. And after the last round is over, the final round of the championship series is over, whoever scores the most points, and that's going to be an individual, whoever scores the most points will earn the right for their respective world title. It could be, well, if you are on the FPW brand, you're going for the championship of the universe. If you're on the No Mercy brand, you're going for the No Mercy championship. And of course, if you're a female performer, you're going to go for the LCW world title. However, the 2 remaining superstars of that team will earn the right to compete against their respective tag team title. So it could be the Tornado Tag Team title if you're on FPW, the ECW World Tag Team titles if you're in the No Mercy brand, and of course the LCW World Tag Team title if you are a female performer. And that's the fun part, because you could be in a mixed match situation. For example, Jenna Jaguar, Billie Boomstick, and Lita, sure, they're friends. They're definitely allies. We've seen them many times, but they're not a legitimate tag team. So imagine, let's say Jenna Jaguar earns the most points in her team. She will earn herself a shot for the LCW World title at Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Meanwhile, Billie Boomstick and Lita, they're going to be performing as a tag team to go for the LCW World Tag Team titles. That means, Rick, that 2 women like Lita and Billie Boomstick, who've never teamed up before, will team up for the very first time ever to compete for those tag team titles. Anything can happen, Rick. Anything can happen in this sport, and that's what makes the championship series so damn interesting. Well then, Johnny, answer this question. What if somebody wins by knockout? What happens then? Honestly, Rick, very good question, and I had a feeling you were going to mention that. To be honest with you, to be quite frank with you, Rick, that has never ever happened before, and if that was the case, the match would have to stop. The match would have to stop because a knockout is a very serious situation. We don't want anyone to be knocked out. This is I mean, I know it's a game, but it's not a game, Rick. It's not a game because it's also your health. It's the player's health. And even though we might have seen some knockouts in the past, it's very rare that it happens. But in this business, in this sport, anything can happen, Rick. So I gotta be honest with you. Knockout, no points. Same like disqualification, same like countouts. It must be pinfall or submission. All right, then Johnny, got another question for you. If you don't mind me playing 21 questions with you. It's just that I'm very curious as to why submission moves earn the superstar 5 points. Are you trying to encourage stars to win matches by submission? I mean, what's the deal? The deal is, Rick, that this is wrestling. And in wrestling, submission moves are pretty much common. I mean, yes, traditional wrestling has pinfalls, and we all know that. And pinning can happen, and pinnings are exciting, but so are submission. And you want to perfect your art. You want to be able to be prepared for anything. Learn how to wrestle. Learn how to apply beautiful wrestling holds. You know, like how to do a sleeper hold properly, and how to do a Boston Crab properly, or a Cobra Clutch, or a Camel Clutch, or a Figure 4 leg lock, or a single leg Boston Crab. Any of those kinds of maneuvers. We want stars to excel themselves. We want them to highlight and accentuate their moveset so that in the long run, they can be better. And by the time that challenger meets the champion can get schooled. Maybe the champion will actually learn a thing or two. Maybe by the time the champion loses, champion can gracefully hand over the title, his or herself, and say, "You're the man," or "You're the woman. You did it. You beat my ass. Here's the belt. Now you have a responsibility and you have a target on your back." That's pretty much reality, Rick. And so far, ladies and gentlemen, it has been 10 whole minutes since this match has happened, and yet there have been no eliminations as of yet. So, Johnny, thank you very much for all the information. You've actually passed the test. A test? Yes. You have passed the Rick Rockers administration test, because the fans watching at home, they're probably thinking, what the fuck am I watching? I mean, seriously, what kind of ghetto trash is this? I mean, here we are sitting at home with our thumbs up our asses, and we're watching YouTube video after YouTube video, and seriously, are we actually being entertained? Some of us can say yes. Some of us can pretend to say yes when deep down we're not really entertained. And someone at home, wherever they're sitting in, wherever they are at home at their parents' house, their friend's house, boyfriend's house, girlfriend's house, they're watching this video. 3-on-3 Survivor Series type match between the Country Girls and the team of Jenna, Jaguar, Billie, Boomstick, and Lita. And here I am, Rick Rocker, senior correspondent of Fantasy Pro Wrestling, and I'm saying, like, who the hell is going to pay attention to all of this? But you, Johnny Baba Ganoush, have explained it, verbally explained everything, and we hope to see some kind of diagram or some kind of charts, because a lot of fans are very visual, so they may not even catch what you've even said, because you've regurgitated a lot of information during the first 10 minutes of this match, and I gotta be honest with you, you've explained it to me very well, crystal clear, 5x5, Johnny Baba Ganoush. But do you think that Jim Bob or Jane Bob at home even understands a single word you've just said? Well, Rick, come on. Seriously? If you're a wrestling fan and you understand how a championship series works, then it's going to be like cake to them. It's going to be like familiar. It's going to be like a rinse and repeat kind of thing. But for new wrestling fans, I'm talking about the ones that are watching All Elite Wrestling today, Impact Wrestling today, or WWE today, Ring of Honor today. All of the new fans, the people who didn't even watch wrestling during the days of Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, Ultimate Warrior, the days of Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Razor Ramon, Diesel, Undertaker, to the days of The Rock, Stone Cold, Triple H, Kurt Angle, to the days of John Cena, Randy Orton, Batista, to the days of CM Punk, and fucking Seth Rollins, and The Shield, and all that kind of crap. Do you really think they know what a championship series is? Absolutely not! That's why I'm explaining what the championship series is in the most simplest of forms. So Rick, Any other questions for the Rick Rocker's administration test?
Nope. But you know something? I can give you bonus marks for being so goddamn honest with me and honest with the fans watching at home. Of course I'm going to be honest, Rick. I mean, why would I want to lie to an audience? I mean, my job, Rick, is to make sure that everybody gets their ABC straight here. That the dots are on the I's and the T's are crossed. I'm not going to confuse. I'm not going to frustrate any wrestling fan, new or old, about something like this. Because last year, Rick, I was on the verge of actually pulling the plug on the championship series because I felt that it was way too long, way too brutal, because it's a six-man tag team match contested in Iron Man rules for 30 straight minutes. 30 straight minutes is a long time for a match, especially a match on a video game like this. But I did it. I did it because I wanted to almost make it feel like it was like I'm watching a hockey game, but it's wrestling. So you had the idea to have to merge hockey, NHL hockey with professional wrestling. Hey, if they can make a World Series or a World Cup of wrestling, why can't they make a playoffs of wrestling? Why can't they make a hockey kind of wrestling? I mean, why not? I just proved the point tonight by saying 3 players, 3 wrestlers as a team. It doesn't matter if you're mixed. It doesn't matter if you belong. The point is that every single wrestler will have stats. But in this case here, there's no Stanley Cup for a 3-person team. There's no championship belt for a 3-person team. So how does it work? What? Like a little tournament, and there's the team that won the tournament. What do they win? What do they earn, Rick? You gotta understand how it works, how it actually does follow through. And it's simple. 1 wrestler goes for the world title. The 2 remaining athletes in the team go for the tag team belts. That's it. There's no in-betweener. Unless what you want to do is you want to have a universal champion contender, a hardcore wrestler contender, or a hardcore champion contender, or a high flyer. Imagine that. Imagine having a universal champion contender, a hardcore champion contender, and a cruiserweight champion contender all together. Well, then guess what's going to happen? By hook or by crook, they're all going to go for their own respective titles, right? Wrong! Because what happens if the Universal Champion contender earns more points than his other remaining team players? What if the Universal Champion has 1 point? Or 5 points, whatever points. I'm just saying, 3 points, 5 points, whatever. And the remaining players have 0 points. What? They earn a shot at the title? They didn't even earn any points. You know what I mean? I see what you're trying to say. What you're trying to say is, instead of having 1 superstar go for the Universal Champion or the Major Championship, and the 2 remaining going for tag teams, it's 3 individual wrestlers going for their own 3 respective championships, whether it's secondary or primary. Because the Cruiserweight Championship is not a primary title, it's a secondary title. Correct? That's right. You see, we could do that for next year, for 2022. But to be honest with you, I kind of like the fact that we have the world or the primary title and tag team titles. That's how I see it. Last year I thought that was a pretty good idea. It was a pretty good concept, but the matches were so long. And if I put them down to, let's say, 20 minutes, well, I don't know, because right now, if this match were actually 20 minutes, Rick, we'd be at 2.5 minutes remaining as opposed to 12. So we had to have it 30 minutes. We had to have it that way, otherwise it's not going to work. It's just not going to work. Straight up, not going to work. Well, I understand now, Johnny, and thank you very much for even more clarity. But I think we should get down to brass tacks in this match if it actually goes to the limit. Well, we sure hope it doesn't go to the limit, because we had a match not long ago where it was a draw game, and I mean, at any given point, you know, there could be another draw game again. I'm hoping not, because we're trying to figure out what to do to see if we can allow the MMA fighters to advance on and be a part of the championship series, or if it's going to be a no contest situation and the match will have to restart at a later date with different rules. I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure what we're going to do about that, but we're going to have to figure something out and see what goes down with that. But in the meantime, yes, Rick, let's get back to action here in the 11 and a half minutes remaining. The country girls, ladies and gentlemen, Cactus Jen, Mélissa Cloutier, and Alaska, Nebraska, performing a very stellar match. We have been paying attention to the match. We have been looking on to see what's been going on here, and right now I feel like it's a mixed bag right now. It's hard to tell who will survive this kind of contest. Well, Johnny, my pick is the makeshift team of Jenna Jaguar, Billie Boomstick, and Lita. Only reason why is because they've got Lita, someone with in-ring experience. Well, Sky Stanley calling for the bell. You call that in-ring experience? Forfeiting to the full Nelson lock, courtesy of Alaska, Nebraska. And so far, it's 3-on-2 in favor of the country girls. Do you still think the makeshift team is going to win, Rick? Well, you never know. In past Survivor Series matches, we had a superstar that ended up being the sole survivor for the team, and that could happen again. That could happen tonight, for all we know, in the other matches that are coming up in our broadcast. Yeah. Yes. That is actually dead on. You are accurate about that. So, almost a count of 3. Jenna Jaguar, the team captain, leading Billie Boomstick and Lita to possibly a victory, triumphing to get to the championship series and be that team that can go for the belts. Billie Boomstick helped out Jenna Jaguar. Billie Boomstick and Jenna Jaguar have been in an alliance ever since Billie Boomstick has made her arrival 1 year ago. Oh, beautiful! That was like a schoolgirl power bomb. Jenna Jaguar is now eliminated. It is 3-on-1 in favor of Billie Boomstick. Rick, if you think the sole survivor is going to win this with 9 minutes remaining on the clock, good luck. My money's on the country girls, and the reason why, Rick, is because all 3 athletes have been champions. All 3 athletes have made their way. They have paved their way into the business. They have fought hard side by side. And that's why I genuinely believe the country girls will win. Don't get me wrong. Lita's got a lot of credibility. She's had a great career wrestling in ECW, WWF/E. But let's face it, Lita she's past her prime though. She's pretty much done. You know what I mean? So you're the last 7.5 minutes remaining on the clock, ladies and gentlemen. And it looks as though the country girls are gonna be successful. They're gonna win this
tonight, Rick.
Well, you know what? I could have sworn that the team of Jenna Jaguar, Billie, Boomstick, and Lita were going to win this match because they seemed like they were a very compatible unit. They worked so well together. But ever since Lita tapped out, I was like, you know what? Damn. Things aren't going to work out my way. And, well, there's still 7.5 minutes remaining. Anything can happen. You know, the last time we had a 3-on-1 situation, it was Vicious Jeremy that had to take on all three, Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, and The Undertaker. And that was at the last ever Beach Blast before it got turned into Coastal Clash. So that was something else. I've never seen anything like that before in my life, but it could be the very same way with Billie Boomstick. I mean, look at that, 1 count. A 1 count, for freak's sakes. Beautiful spine buster, as JR would say, or Jim Ross would say, spine on the pine. And there was no table, so you can't say spine on the pine. Pine, as in the wood. There's no tables. Beautiful super kick across the jaw, across the face, to the face. How about that? Is that okay? Exceptional. 1, 2, and almost a count of 3. Billie Boomstick is really holding on her own here in this matchup. Kind of like what happened with Tenille Dashwood. And even Tenille Dashwood she would never give up. She would never surrender. That's right. She would never give up, never surrender her post. And that's why that match ended up in a draw game. And with these last 5 minutes, if Billie Boomstick can survive, we'll have not only 2 draw games, but my point is proven. Or, sorry, Rick, your proof was proven? It's okay, Johnny. It's very exhausting. This match is very exhausting. I'm surprised that you're able to even commentate for the last, how long has this been so far? About 30 minutes? Roughly 30 minutes. 30 minutes. We have about four and some minutes left. So I'm impressed, Johnny, that you're able to actually commentate this long. In fact, about 20 minutes of commentating was just us bantering back and forth about what the championship series is. You want to know what it was? I told you. You're not here most of the time. You don't get to see the action. You hear about it. Oh, look at that. We've seen that a bunch of times. Of course, it was completely ignored the entire match. And as a result, Mélissa Cloutier has defeated Billie Boomstick, the final opponent in that makeshift team with Jenna Jaguar and Billie Boomstick and, of course, Lita. Lita being the first one eliminated. Clean sweep tonight for the Country Girls. Look at that. Near fall after near fall, but check this beautiful powerbomb backbreaker. That is bone on bone action. Boba, if you will. Well, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, thank you, Rick. My pleasure there, Johnny. See you around. That was Rick Rocker, our senior correspondent, playing color commentator tonight here on LCW Catfight 2021. And I guess you're going to be seeing him interviewing our next guest.